Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, as I'm getting ready to set to fly today, I'm flying, as you read this, I'm flying to Seattle for our group cruise on the Majestic Princess. Just me, my niece Angelina, and 150 of my closest friends. I can't wait to get there and enjoy our Alaska cruise on the beautiful ship, but it reminds me of a story that I read recently, and it involves flying, and one thing that some people don't even think of, but it cost this person their entire cruise. So many of you who have ever flown, you're sitting there, you're waiting for your flight to go, and you hear an announcement saying, "We have a very full flight, and we are offering free checked bags to those people who are willing to check their bag at no cost to you." And they do this on almost every flight you've ever flown on, right? Because people take that carry-on thing way too over the limit, shall we say. They'll travel with a big purse like this, then they'll travel with a backpack, then they'll also travel with a travel bag. And the trouble is, the backpack, because it's smaller, is supposed to go under the seat in front of you. And people will take that backpack, who are first on the plane, and they'll put the backpack up there, and they'll put the suitcase up there, and they'll put their purse up there, and it takes up 3 spots as opposed to the 1 spot it's supposed to take up, and it just fills the plane, right? So they often announce that the plane is full and they need you to check the bag. Now, normally what happens with this situation is that they will tag your bag, you leave it outside the plane, right at the gate where you're getting on, and then when you're getting off the plane, it's sitting there waiting for you, specially tagged, and it's one of the first things that comes off the plane when you arrive at your destination. This is where a problem can arise because people forget that things can go missing. They say, well, they're just taking it from here right down to the plane. What can happen? A lot can happen. A lot can happen because it can get pushed aside when you arrive. It cannot make it to the plane down below. Somebody could just errantly put it on like, oh, we'll put it down there. Oh, the plane took off. Oh no. A lot of things can happen. And people leave the wrong things, like this person did, who was heading to a very special, once-in-a-lifetime, like a $12,000 cruise, and they left their asthma medication spray in their suitcase. They also left all their travel documents in their suitcase to contact the cruise line in that travel bag. They said to themselves, I'm not putting it in my travel bag, I'm putting it in my carry-on, so it's going to be with me. But then they handed it over to the airline. Now, normally in this situation, I'm always sitting there waiting to board my plane, and I will hear the stewards and the people at the ticket booth, and they will say, now remove anything that you absolutely need, like your medication or anything like that. Please remove it from the bag. And they're doing that because they know things can happen. Something can happen to your bag. Well, it did not dawn on her, and she did not take her asthma stuff, even though she said, I kept asking them, is it going to be at my destination? They said yes, they said yes. Well, lo and behold, it never did show up. Ever. Now, here's where some of the tricky part comes in. When she was arguing with the airlines and saying, hey, I need my medication and everything for her next flight, their connecting flight, the pilot was told that she doesn't have her asthma spray, etc. And he said, well, then she can't fly with us. She needs to have her medication with her. we can't take a chance and go up on a long flight without her asthma medication. So they worked with her knowing that it was, the bag's gone missing, it's their fault, etc. That's not what they're saying that they did wrong. They gave her a hotel, they were rebooking her flights the next day, etc. But now she had no way of contacting Hurtigruten with her cruise line saying, hey, I might be late, or I need to land at another place and board the ship at another location. And she started to say, well, normally in this case, when you're booking the entire trip, so the flights and the cruise were all booked through the same, through the cruise line, that if I can't get on the plane or anything, it's covered. I should get my money back. That's the way it is. Now, here's the issue. Hurtigruten is saying, well, wait a minute. The flight flew. It was your fault that you didn't keep your medication. It wasn't due to the airline's fault. Yes, they lost the bag, but had you kept your spray with you, you could have still flown and still gotten to the cruise. So they were refusing to pay the insurance on that and give a full refund. Now, I will say Hurtigruten really did step up, because they said, you know what? Here, they offered her, I think it was like $8,000 to $9,000 future cruise offer. So she could sail on another ship and another sailing at a later time. They did not have to do that, because yes, anything that's caused by our own fault, unless you have cancel for any reason insurance, they don't have to pay. For instance, if you have an expired passport, well, that's not on the cruise line. That's not on the airline. That's on us. And they would deny you boarding. You would not be able to be eligible for a full refund, because it's your own fault. Again, unless you had that very expensive cancel for any reason insurance, which is normally double to triple what a normal medical insurance would be. So keep that in mind, and keep that in mind when you're flying. When they're asking you to check your bag and you decide to do so, please make sure you keep anything vital that's in your travel bag. I never give up my travel bag, but I only travel with a single backpack. I don't have any walk-on stuff. I don't have a carry-on suitcase. I have a small backpack because I carry my camera and my computer all in that backpack. And so I will never hand that over to the cruise line, because my computer's in there. I'm not going to take a chance on anything damaged, my travel computer and all my info and everything like that, not to mention my cameras. Never going to give it up. But I would never travel with, any medication or my passport or anything, even in my travel bag. It's always on my person when I'm traveling. And I know a lot of people have a lot of medication, but that's why it should all be in one little like plastic baggie or something like that. Some people use like a makeup zippered up bag, and they'll put their medication in that, and then if they need to check anything, they can just take that bag out, and it's a little travel one, much smaller, easier to carry. But wow, imagine missing out your entire cruise because you stored your bag, and lo and behold, your other luggage arrives, but your stored carry-on bag is the one that doesn't. Well, let me know in the comments down below. Do you often hear people having to check their bag? Does this maybe make you reconsider doing that at the airport? It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, and you're on your way to someplace vital, like a time thing, it can really mess up your whole vacation. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.